So I wanted to make this video to, yes, once again, talk about prismatic evolutions, but I have a very surprising update for you guys that you might be surprised, maybe you'll criticize for me doing this. I don't know, but I'll explain why I did it. But first, I'm going to talk about why prismatic evolutions, I already sort of talked about this recently, why it's sort of the biggest hold right now, and you shouldn't really be selling it. But at the end of the video, after I go through these and just talk about why you should hold prismatic evolutions, I'm going to be contradicting myself and actually being a hypocrite because I did the opposite. And I'll explain what I sold and why I did it. But going through, the products, I've, left out a few of the products like mini tins, 2-pack blisters, because those are just kind of whatever. I don't really care about talking about those because they're just kind of minuscule products. But PC ETBs, right now, lowest listed is 315. Looking at 151, how those PC ETBs are going to hit $500, I think 300 is pretty cheap. I feel like if you're selling now, like, yes, you're still making like 5x your money or 4x or whatever, but it has a higher ceiling. And if you don't think it does, like, I mean, where's that restock at? I don't think it might not ever even come here, right? And you think about prismatic evolutions, it's like very new. It's what, like 2 months old now? It has a lot of growth. So selling the piece of ETBs for prismatic is probably the worst idea right now out of all of these because there hasn't been a restock. It might not even come, and we're only 2 months after the set release. Think about where this is going to be at in another month. It's not a good sell right now, but I do understand some people like to sell some to cover their cost base or whatever, but I feel like this is not the product to do that. I would hold on to these for a bit longer. Now, elite trainer boxes, same thing. I've talked about this before. I feel like elite trainer box reprints are very different now. They don't really reprint them as it seems, because if you think about all the specialty sets, 151, Paldean Fates, where are the ETB reprints? They've just reprinted booster bundles. So I think these are a pretty strong hold. I think the reprint possibilities for these are pretty low. And still at 140, I mean, you look at 151 ETBs. I know it's a little bit different. They're older. They've had more scarcity, but they're above $200. If you don't think a product and a set like Prismatic Evolutions can go near $200, I think that's crazy. And also considering the factors that it's probably not going to get reprinted at least anytime soon. At 140, I don't think it's a strong buy at market, but I don't think it's a sell because 140 to me is still pretty cheap. I know maybe I sound crazy, but I think that's pretty cheap. I see a much higher ceiling for this, and therefore I think selling right now is still not a good time. I think we're gonna hit another run, and as you can see here with some of these prismatic products, yeah, it's been pretty stagnant for the last couple of weeks. So really there hasn't been that much to talk about with this set because prices really haven't done much. Next here, same thing. Prices have been pretty stagnant for the past few weeks. Prismatic had a big rebound, now sort of stagnating. There will be another run for this because Prismatic Evolutions, at least for the next couple months, it's not going to crash or get printed into the ground like some people think is going to happen. So this is a product I do heavily believe probably won't get reprinted because it's a whole binder. Like they would have to make a whole binder with this box and 5 packs just to sell 5 packs and make a whole binder. MSRP I believe is like $30. To me, I feel like that's not really a smart product to reprint. So I feel like these also aren't really gonna get reprinted. So I feel like this is just another stronghold because it just, in my opinion, with it not getting reprinted, I feel like it's at $80. If you look at 151 and you look at those binder collections, like those ones are like $150. So just for me, I feel like $80 is still pretty cheap. And I think at this point, it's not a sell. I haven't sold a single one of these yet, and I have a lot of these. Next are the surprise boxes. Now this is a little bit of an interesting one because, I don't know if it's going to get reprinted or not. This is a completely new product, so it definitely could be a product they want to reprint. But, I feel like these have a very high ceiling too because of those promos. The Umbreon is still worth like $80 or $90, something around there. The other promos are worth around I think 20 or $30. So I feel like these are a really good product in the future because it has that stamp promo. And I feel like at 75, when this peaked at around 100, I feel like it still has more to go. So for me, I haven't sold a single one, still holding on to everything. Now going on to these last two products, and I've kept them all the way to the end for a reason. I sold these. Now, you might be surprised, maybe not, because you're like, vapor stuff. You're saying to keep these. Why? You're saying not to sell Prismatic at all. Did you sell these? Well, here's the thing. I've bought way more Prismatic than I really should have, I guess, in a way. And I'm even buying more Prismatic. As I'm recording this, I'm posting this, I have bought more Prismatic. I need to let some stuff go. I had bought some of these with the intention of, okay, I know it's not the best product because in my opinion, poster collections, we see it with the performance of 151 posters, they don't do that well long term. And they can get reprinted. We've seen restocks of 151 posters and stuff like that. So I'm like, okay, if I'm gonna sell any product, in Prismatic product, I'm gonna sell the posters because I had a bunch of these. I bought them for a very low cost. I was already, I was already profitable by buying them at my cost at the time. So I'm like, okay, worst case scenario, I can literally just sell these and make money. So that's what I decided to do because I bought way more Prismatic than I wanted to. When I told you guys I was stopping, buying Prismatic, I'm not gonna lie to you guys, in some ways I did kind of lie because I found a ton of good deals. I don't know how, but I found some stuff way under market and I bought them. So I needed to let something go, and it had to be the posters because these products are not, they just don't perform that well long term. So I was okay with selling, and I sold all of them my posters. So I have no more posters. I'm done with them. They're all gone, and honestly, I'm okay with it because I'm replacing them with way better Prismatic products, and I have more space now in my room. So I'm okay with selling these, and just how I see this going, sales rate, for these is not crazy. And you look at the amount of supply, these are some things I do when I look at products that I want to sell. I look to see, okay, is it going to go up anytime soon in the next week? If I hold on to it for another week, am I gonna, lose out on potential profits? And when I look at these poster collections and I look at the sales data at around, 5 every single day, and I look at the supply for this product, and I was able to sell these for over, I guess usually when I sell 80%. So I guess that's another thing for you guys. But you see all this supply, and you see how much supply there is before it hits 45 bucks. Like, there's a decent amount, and obviously taking account with people listing every single day as prices go up, it's gonna take a little bit of time for these to go up to 45 bucks because it's just the poster collections, they just don't do that well. So I'm like, okay, I'm fine selling these. I'm buying better product. It is what it is. So that's what I did with these, and yeah, I sold all of them. Lastly, and this is not really a crazy one because I didn't even have that much to begin with, but the tech stickers I had like just a little bit of, I just sold them all because I'm like, you know what? These are, in my opinion, a very similar product to the poster collections. Like, they're maybe a little bit better in some ways because of the promo. Like the Sylveon one, I believe is like now like 45 bucks or something. But I'm like, okay, these are similar posters. They're not that great of a product. It's all right. Growth rate for these, I feel like, isn't as high as some other products. I'll just sell these, and I'm able to buy the other stuff because, like I said, I've spent too much, more than I wanted to on Prismatic, and I needed to let some stuff go. But just know that I profited on every single one of these products. I did not lose money. I made money on all this stuff. So just wanted to make this video, I guess, to update you guys on my Prismatic Evolution situation. Yes, I am a hypocrite. I sold some, even though I said I'm going to hold them, but at the same time, I bought more. So it kind of all evens out. And I feel like this was a smart decision because, I'm selling the bad Prismatic Evolutions products for better Prismatic Evolutions products, and I'm buying those products at super low costs. So in my opinion, it's a win-win. So just want to update you guys on this, talk about Prismatic once again, and yeah, that's the end of this video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next one.